Hey, Chris with Talking to the Media is here, and this is We Got Your Mail. This is the show that is long overdue. We have noticed that a lot of you guys, just like me, have sometimes sent your email questions to huge, very, very popular, very, very good YouTube channel called Collider Schmoes, shows like that, and you have sent in your movie questions or TV questions, game questions, what have you, and sometimes they get read, sometimes they do not. It's a larger chance that they will not get read since they get thousands of emails a week, and they filter through what they can and what is interesting and what they can read and what they don't want to read, etc. And so if you, just like me, if you've sent the question in and had it read, congratulations. I have once, and 9 times out of 10, no matter how good you think your question is, odds are it's just, if it's been answered before, or if it's just redundant to something that they've covered already, that it's just not as interesting as you think it is, they probably won't cover it. They'll get the top 3 to 5, 7 questions and answer those for that day, for mailbag on Saturdays, Sundays, and schmoes and whatnot. It just depends on the questions. So let's say, old school, let's say you've written a letter and you wrote a letter to a friend of yours. Maybe you got the number wrong and you sent it to 12345 Long Street, and it was actually supposed to be 12346 Long Street. That's where your friend is, and the neighbor will see it. Oh, this is for the Johnson. So let's let me walk this letter over and say, hey, sorry, Mr. Johnson, we got your mail. Well, that's what this show is. Let's say you were writing your letter to your favorite YouTube channel, and by mistake you might have, maybe if you forgot a letter like the letter L, and you didn't realize that there were 2, and then you only put 1, and I have to learn how to use air quotes. And so if that happened, then you might get your letter sent to the wrong person. But here, if this happens, it guarantees your question will be read. And another thing that I've decided to do, we are, as you may or may not know, we are having a contest. We are doing a contest for free tickets to see Captain America. That's the next movie. Every time we hit 100 subscribers, the contest is activated. I'm doing something new. For the mailbag guys over there, if you accidentally sent it over to here, so for the, I'm not even going to call it that anymore, to the We Got Your Mail crew, WGYM fam, boys and girls, if that letter comes here, we're going to put you in the running. I'm going to have a separate set of tickets for those guys. Every time we hit a certain number of subscribers, and I'm always going to put, if your letter is read, we're going to reach out to you. Become a subscriber. Activate, whether the contest is activated or not, I'm going to save a side list for you guys. Every time you send a question in and you subscribe, I'm putting you on a side list, whether the contest is activated or not. Before that movie, the We Got Your Mail crew, you're gonna be in the running to get another set of tickets to see the next big blockbuster that's coming out. And this time it's Captain America. So with that out of the way, I feel like you guys kind of know who I sounded like when I said that. Let's get to the first question. The first question comes from Joseph Ferone. I think he wants to be called Joe the Raptor Trainer. And he says, hey guys, I'm making my own movie talk show. Hey, what a coincidence, so am I. And I'm having trouble finding good movie news and good sites. Thanks, Joe the Raptor Trainer. Well, Joe, I'm going to let the guys that he meant that to go to, I believe he was trying to send that out to the Collider crew. So Collider, we got your mail, and I'm passing it on to Joe. Since you probably wouldn't have read this one anyway, since it technically is not a question. It has a question mark, but it is not It does not read as a question unless you read it like this. Hey guys, I'm making my own movie talk show, and I'm having trouble finding good movie news and good sites. Thanks, Joe the Raptor Trainer. That's what I imagine his voice sounds like. So I'm assuming your question to the guys over there that we got it by mistake, by the way. So guys, Collider here, we got your mail. There you go. I'm assuming your question was, what good sites is there to look for? Talking Through the Medias is a good T3medias.com is a good site to go to. Check us out. We're not up to date, but we are very reactionary. So we got that going for us. A good site to go to, obviously, is Collider.com. They are great. You can just Google, really, movie news if you really want to be caught up. I think Movie Rants is a good one. The Schmoes guys is good. ComingSoon.net if you want to know what the movies are that are coming out soon. Obviously, Cinema Blend, they're in the top choices. You have, I've already said ComingSoon.net, Dark Horizons, Screen Rants, again, Screen Rants. IMDb is also a great source. Not always the best, but it's a great source. Yeah, man, just going through the Googles, man. That's all you need to do. MovieWebs.com. These are all great shows, but what you really want to do, if you really want to have your pulse on the Society of Movies, you know, follow the studios directly. Warner Brothers, Fox, all these guys, TriStar, Sony, all these guys. Follow them directly on Twitter. Go to their websites, and they release good. They release the synopsis for upcoming movies. They release trailers. It usually comes to their website first, and simultaneously it comes to their YouTube channel. You can follow them on YouTube. That's what I do. You can follow them on Twitter. That's what I do. Follow them directly. But if you're looking for movie news, guys like Screen Rants, IMDb, Cinema Blend, Collider, those guys are awesome. Follow those guys and just keep up with them directly on their Twitter feeds, their YouTube channels if they have them, and their official websites. That's what I suggest. I can't speak for the people that you intended this email. I'm gonna keep calling them letter, like old school letter. Like, hey, Paul, you got your mail again. Here's your summons that your ex-wife is giving you. I'm sorry, it came to us by mistake. So yeah, there's your question that was meant for you guys over there at Collider. So do it as you will. It's from my buddy, hopefully my new buddy Joseph, and I'll be replying back to you, Joseph, and letting you know what happened. And hopefully you might become a subscriber. And if you do, there could be some free tickets coming your way. So thanks for the question, and I'm gonna move on to the next question. And that question is from a Dale. I'm gonna butcher this. Butori? From Dale Butori, and some of these are old. Some of these are from way back. So these might be questions that we've already got the answer to already, but they went to the wrong person anyway. And with all everything that's been going on, took a while to get to them. But I said when I do this, I'm gonna get to them all, and I'm gonna do that. So not today, but I'm going to run through them. So. The question is regarding James Earl Jones voicing Darth Vader, and this question is, hey Collider crew, quick question. Is there any chance James Earl Jones voices Vader in any of the new movies? I think we already got our answer to that. James Earl Jones did come back, and he's going to be voicing Darth Vader for Rogue One. As you guys know, Rogue One did release a trailer, which was awesome. I'm super excited about the new Rogue One movie, as surprisingly as much as I was surprised was excited about Star Wars Episode 7 and then Star Wars Episode 8. These are going to be great fillers, and I'm using the word filler very liberally because I don't consider that. When I thought they were just going to be little fillers, like a little Star Wars light kind of movies, but after seeing this trailer, how gritty it was, and I can tell, just like Heath Ledger, it's all part of the plan. See, I'm like a dog chasing a car. I wouldn't know what to do with it if I caught it. I just do things. But Disney, they don't just do things. They're schemers. You can always tell the schemers' end. Those guys are scheming things. See, those guys have a plan. And if they're starting their plan off like this, they're on the right path. So, James Earl Jones did come back, and I'm excited about that. I can't wait to hear his epic voice. Yes, master. Kind of have a little mixed feelings about that line, but I mean, James can get away with it. I can get away with saying it, I guess. In the kind of feel weird saying it now. Yes, master. I mean, come on, it's 2016. Come on, really? For really? I'm gonna get. I went there. You know what I'm talking about. That's sad, George. Can't believe you made that man say that. But you make everybody call everybody master, so I guess it's okay. Equal opportunity, right? And they're not. I'm just joking. So we already got that answer. So thanks for the question, Dale. You are now submitted into the top 20, I guess. The odds of you, just like the last question, the odds of you getting those free tickets have just increased that much. So moving on. So got a long one here, and this question comes from an Israel Hermosillo. It's a question I was also intended for the crew over at Collider. Guys, we got your mail, and it came from Israel Hermosillo, and I'm sorry you didn't get it. We did here at Talking Through the Medias, medias.com, and the question is, you guys are amazing. Big fan of the show. That was of the Collider show, and I also am a big fan of the show. They are doing an outstanding job. When I grow up, I want to be just like them. Okay. One of the things I hate about living so darn close to Mexico here down at San Diego would be, for example, I bought premiere tickets to Star Wars for the 17th of December, but I just found out that all my friends are going to the December 14th release in Tijuana. So this means chances of getting the movie spoiled have increased, and this sucks. My question is, why can't the movies be released worldwide everywhere on the same date? By the way, isn't Star Wars an American company made movie? Why the hell are other countries watching it before we are? What do you guys feel about this? Wow, like shots fired. Oh, Mexico. Okay. Well, Israel, thanks for the question, and I'm gonna pass it now up to the people that it was intended to. Now, this is an example of the question that probably would have been passed over because they don't like to just repeat questions over and over again that they've asked and answered. I feel it's like Law and Order. Objection, asked and answered. But the short answer is you have different release dates for different countries because of marketing. I mean, there's certain holidays, like in America, there's certain holidays that it benefits a release, like Easter just passed, and you have, and I hope that movie wasn't spoiled for you, by the way. I hope that you told your friends to shut the hell up if they saw it before you did, by the way. If your friends saw it before you did, screw them. Like, what the hell? Like, what the F? Why couldn't they get an extra ticket for you, man? I'm like, what's up with that nonsense, for one? Like, what happened to the Golden Girls theme song? Thank you for being a friend. You traveled down the road and back again. Your heart is sure you're a pal and a confidant. Seems like these guys are dicks, and they owe you a copy of the Star Wars movie if you after the fact. It seems like if you haven't bought that DVD or Blu-ray yet, these guys, they owe you. So, yeah, you tell them. I said that. And if they're bigger than me, you tell them you said that. So the reason why, going back after that little rant, was you have holidays sometimes. Like for example, like you said, maybe something's a Christmas release like that, like Star Wars was back in December. It was a Christmas release, and that's a holiday celebrated worldwide. So that's a bad example. Let's say I don't know, Independence Day here in America. You get a day off. And we're celebrating our country, but you're not celebrating Independence Day. This isn't the movie Independence Day. We're not celebrating Independence Day over in Mexico. They have their own Independence Day. They have their own in France. They have their own, so July 4th means nothing to Canada, So if they have their own holiday, like sort of around the same time, maybe they have a holiday that's on June the 17th. Which may fall on a Friday or a Thursday or whatnot, and they know a lot of people are going to be home or away from school or whatever the situation is, and so it just makes more sense for them to release it then because they feel like they could get a larger audience during that release, and we wait here for our best time. Also because other movies around it are releasing and whatnot. So it's just you gotta strategize of when this release is perfect for your movie. You gotta dodge other movies with the same kind of audience because you don't want to divide the fans. People can't afford to go into a movie and sneak into the other one, but you want to guarantee that you're gonna pay for yours. So you kind of dodge another movie. You wouldn't have a Star Wars movie and a Star Trek movie releasing on the same week, which would be awesome, but that would split the fans, and Star Wars would win, but Star Trek knows that, so they wouldn't do that. And they're gonna go way over here, away from that Star Wars machine as far as possible, and release it at the perfect time that makes sense for North America or Canada and Mexico and things like that. But over there in France and China, for example, and whatnot, sometimes it may take a couple of months, sometimes it may take a while longer, sometimes they might get it first. It just depends on the marketing, what the studios decided to do as far as when the release makes sense for that specific country. So I hope I answered the question to the best of my knowledge. I mean, I'm not I know a lot about a little about a lot of things. One thing I do know is I know how to market, and I can market the hell out of some things, and I'm doing the best that I can. So I know John, I know Christian, I know Ellis, I know Schnepp would have answered this question. Hell, Sinead DeFries would have answered this question way better than I did, but you didn't, send a letter to the right person, so we got your mail. But it got read, and I'm passing it on. So, guys, there's the question. If you want to chime in and give this person a shout out, there you go, guys, over at the Collider. So that's that question. I was only gonna do 3, but I'm gonna do a few more. Let's see what's going on. I like this. Let's do 2 more. Let's do 2 more. These are old, so we're just not getting to them. It's a big ass bag of mail that I'm ciphering through just in case this show might pick up. If it doesn't pick up, I'm dumping it. If it does. If it doesn't pick up, next episode I'm just gonna burn through them all. I'm gonna get to them all. If it doesn't, then if it does pick up, then we'll get to them when we can, and we're gonna make it a weekly thing. By the way, just letting you guys know that, and I'm gonna make this my new thing. By the way, so there's another one from Mr. Israel. I think this is the same question. Sorry about that. It's a duplicate. And the next question for the crew over there at Collider. Again, guys, if you misspell the email that was meant for them and then spell it correctly in the question, I'm going to point that out, which I'm doing right now with Dusty Holbrook. Dusty, his question is, hello, correctly spelled Collider crew. I watch your show every day. Hey, he watches the show like me every day, and he loves what you do. He was wondering, With all the movies that have lost money this year in theaters, how much money can a studio lose in a year? And this is last year probably. A year and still stay in business. I know studios know that not every movie will be a success, but with all the blockbuster movies that have lost so much money for the studios this last year, such as Tomorrowland, Disney, Pan, Disney, Fantastic Four, Fox, and then I'm putting the name of the studio in. By the way, he didn't write this. How many movies can a studio afford to bomb and still stay in business? Thanks, and even though he's not there anymore, this is the first one for you, John Campia. Thanks, and bring on the filthy. I just messed that up. Damn it. Filthy. Good question. These guys are billionaires, by the way. I mean, Disney, this is where I'm struggling for a dollar. Disney can afford to drop 100 mil, 200 mil on a Pan and a Tomorrowland, and they can stay in business after that movie, fails to make a dollar. This doesn't mean that that's what they want to do. I think sometimes, even though these are big juggernauts behind them, sometimes the producers of these movies are just guys, probably just your average millionaire or multi-millionaire, a guy who's is in the business and doing it big. The executive producer is a guy who's putting their company money up there and whatnot, and then Disney is also in business with them because they sold the rights to the script of the idea to Disney. So you got a juggernaut like Disney that's going to help market it, distribute it, and all that good stuff. But the executive producer is probably a guy, a woman, a company. To the side, you'll always see the Disney logo. Then you'll see produced by this guy and produced by that guy. Those guys are putting up their money too, but maybe they have an executive office and they have some skin in the game with the main company, Disney, and that maybe they're getting a little bit from the main boys. I don't know. I'm not really in the business. My knowledge kind of extends to the things that I've seen in Entourage and from what I've learned over these past few years about the biz. But I do know that sometimes you'll see executive producers, you'll see producers, things like that. These guys probably work for the company. Maybe they just work with the company for a long time. Maybe they're just a great experienced director who's also moved into producing. Steven Spielberg, for example. I know he has his own company. He doesn't work for Disney, but I believe he's done movies with them before. He doesn't. So until he became so all powerful that he was able to sustain and do the things on his own. Now he distributes, I think. So why can these companies afford to do? Because they've been doing this for a long time. Disney's been around for a long time. Warner's has been around for a long time, and they've made some mistakes. They've made some great moves. Their money comes from all over. They have a department. This is the movie department. There's a TV department and whatnot. So you have so much money coming in from that you're allowed petty cash. You got like $3 billion in petty cash. Go give daddy some hits. Go make some movies. Make some magic. Bring some magic home. Get back to work. Walt Disney comes out of his grave and I'm not paying you to freaking stand around and act like a bunch of assholes. Get to work and make me my money, because you can't pay for your life. You're gonna vanish. So these guys do not like to lose that money. It doesn't matter if said executive producer or the main company has billions and billions and billions of dollars, and the movie only cost $150 to make, and it only made $30 million. It's a loss. They don't like to lose. No one goes into this game. No one, whether it's a small independent or a huge blockbuster. If I'm putting in $300 million to make and market a movie, I expect my money back and then some. Otherwise, like Mr. Trump says, I would consider this a complete waste of time. Fox has already done, even though the first two movies financially got their money back, they were critically and from the fans themselves destroyed. So the risk of a third one based on the first two would have been higher. So they decided to reboot. Everything's going darker and grittier. We're gonna bring you a new Fantastic Four. Then they dropped their shorts on that one too, and the new darker reboot. They with all that interference between the director and the studio, it caused a colossal F and lost them even more money. I mean, who would have imagined that the first two Fantastic Fours would technically be considered successes compared to the new darker, grittier toned one that looked amazing? But that's what happened, and that's why Fox is probably going to let Fantastic Four revert back to Marvel, because they don't know how to make a good Fantastic Four movie without getting critically, shellacked and financially rammed. So even though Fox ain't doing bad, they got that Deadpool money that just came in. They got that X-Men money that came in. That's coming in. Doesn't matter. They got money. They got money to blow. They do this every day, but they like to do this even more. They want that money to come in. They don't want to do this all the time. That dance that they're getting is meaningless. Where's the money? Show me the money. That's the end all be all to everything. That story, like the great Dusty Rhodes once said. That's good and everything, but baby, where's the money? Is the ultimate question. So that's what's always gonna be the situation. Even though these guys can afford to lose a little bit or a lot, doesn't mean that they want to. So you got to look at it like that. These guys have been in business for a long time. They can afford things. They have things in place where if this movie fails, we're not going to make a sequel. We're not going to franchise. We want to be in the franchise business. Let's franchise these things and whatnot. So let's take a risk on this first one. If it fails, we know not to go in this direction again. We know to go in another direction, and that's what they prepare for. They hope for the best. They prepare for the worst. They've been doing it for years, and they will continue to do it unless they mess up like Sony almost did. Now Sony almost went not under, but because Sony started off as a entertainment company, as far as they make televisions, things like that, and what they're losing money in was those things like now that it's so saturated and diversified with the makings of their Blu-rays and everything is going to streaming and whatnot. Sony is in a lot of trouble with what they put their main company on, as far as the DVD players and the Blu-rays and the what have you, and the VCRs and all those things. But Sony was making money hand over fist through their movie entertainment company, which was mainly the rights that they had to Spider-Man and certain other films. But because of mistake after mistake after mistake, getting hacked and all their stuff being put out in public, the idea of Men in Black and 21 Jump Street becoming a thing, and now that came out, and it's like, what are you guys doing over there? It also came out that they were considering shutting it down, their movie side, because they were losing so much money. They finally worked it out. They made a deal with this. I think this is the last push. They made a last minute deal with Marvel, so now this is them moving forward and trying to stay afloat. But Sony as a company won't fold, but they will delete certain departments, like their movie entertainment department, or their DVD departments or Blu-rays and all that stuff, those things, or the TV manufacturing, because they're losing money on those things. So that's a good example of that, and I hope I've answered that question well. I thought I was going to have time for another one, but I don't. I think I've been rambling on long enough, and I'm going to leave it at that. Dusty, you are also in the top for those free tickets, so I'm going to reach out to all of you guys, and good luck to you when we activate this contest for those free tickets. If you happen to send a question to your crew with the Collider, maybe you might forget a letter, such as maybe L or something, and it might come to us by mistake. We at Talking Through the Medias will get that letter, and we will pass it on to the intended receiver. And that didn't sound right. I feel like that's what she said joke, but hey, it is what it is. As always, guys, keep talking with me, and thanks for all the subscribers, thanks for all the comments, thanks for the the letters, even though they weren't intended to me. And as always, let's keep talking.